You know what the difference is between being broke and being poor? About $1,000. I know that sounds crazy. $1,000 doesn't change your life, right? Can't buy a car with it. Can't put a down payment on a house. Can't quit your job and travel the world. But here's what it can do. It can stop you from getting kicked while you're already down. Because right now, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not just struggling financially. You're playing a game where the rules are designed to punish you for being poor. And today, I'm going to show you how a single $1,000 can change the entire game. Let me paint you a picture. Your car breaks down on a Tuesday. It's going to cost $400 to fix, but you don't have $400. Your checking account has maybe $87 in it, and payday isn't until Friday. So what do? You could skip the repair and hope your car makes it to work. But if it doesn't, you miss work. Miss work, you might lose your job. Lose your job. And now you're really in trouble. So you pay the mechanic. You have to. But now your account is negative $313. And that's when the banks smell blood. Your rent check bounces. That's a $35 overdraft fee. Your phone bill tries to auto pay. Another $35 fee. Netflix, Spotify, that gym membership you forgot to cancel, $35 each. By Friday, when your paycheck finally hits, you're not just broke. You're $200 deeper in the hole than you were on Tuesday. And your next paycheck? It's already spent before you even earn it. This isn't bad luck. This is the poverty penalty. The system literally charges you extra for not having money. It's like getting fined for being poor. Banks call them overdraft protection fees. What a joke. They're not protecting you. They're extracting wealth from people who can least afford it. And here's the really messed up part. When you calculate it out, those overdraft fees are basically loans. Tiny, short-term loans that you're paying back in 3 or 4 days. Want to know the APR on that? On a $35 fee for covering a $20 overdraft for 3 days, over 20,000%. 20,000%. Payday loans look like a good deal compared to that. Credit cards seem generous. Even loan sharks would be embarrassed. This is what I mean when I say the game is rigged against you. Right now, if you're broke, all your money is defensive. Every dollar that comes in is immediately assigned to keep the wolves away. Rent, utilities, food, gas. You're not building anything. You're just trying not to lose ground. It's exhausting. You can't think about saving when you're constantly putting out fires. You can't invest in yourself when you're just trying to survive until next Friday. This is defensive money. You're playing defense. And in finances, like in sports, you can't win by only playing defense. But here's the beautiful thing about that first $1,000. It flips the script. $1,000 sitting in your account doesn't just sit there. It works. It's a buffer, a shield, a force field between you and financial disaster. When your car breaks down, you don't panic. You pay the $400, and you still have $600 left. No overdraft fees. No cascading catastrophe. No borrowed money at insane interest rates. You handled it like an adult, and the world didn't end. That's a shift from defensive to offensive money. Suddenly, you're not reacting to every crisis. You're positioned to make actual choices. You can think more than 3 days ahead. You can say no to terrible deals because you're not desperate. This is what wealthy people understand instinctively. It's not that they don't have emergencies. It's that emergencies don't destroy them. And it all starts with your first $1,000. Okay, so how you actually do this? Because I know what you're thinking. Great advice, but I can barely make rent. Where am I supposed to find $1,000? I get it. If it was easy, you'd already have it. But here's the thing. You don't need to find $1,000 all at once. You need to build it piece by piece. $10 here, $50 there. Let me break it down into actual steps that work in the real world. Step 1, open a separate account. This is crucial. Do not try to save money in the same account you use for bills and daily expenses. It doesn't work. That money will evaporate. You need a savings account that's slightly annoying to access. Not impossible, just annoying enough that you won't dip into it for takeout. Most banks let you open a savings account for free. Some even pay you a tiny bit of interest. It doesn't matter. Just open one. Step 2, start with what you can. If you can only save $5 a week, save $5 a week. That's $20 a month. In a year, that's $240. That's 2 overdraft fees you're not paying. That's a flat tire you can handle. But here's the secret. Most people can find more than $5 if they actually look. Cancel one subscription you don't use. That's $10 a month. Pack lunch twice a week instead of buying it. That's another $40 a month. Sell something on Facebook Marketplace. Old video games. Clothes that don't fit. That blender you use once. $50. Easy. I'm not saying deprive yourself of everything. I'm saying be intentional. There's a difference between treating yourself and leaking money. Step 3. Automate it. Willpower is overrated. Automation is how you actually build habits. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking to your savings. Even if it's just $10 every payday. Set it and forget it. You'll be amazed how quickly you stop noticing that $10 is gone. But you will notice when your savings account has $300 in it 6 months later. Step 4. Treat windfalls like treasure. Tax refund? Half of it goes to savings. Birthday money? Savings. Picked up an extra shift? You guessed it. I'm not saying save 100% of every windfall. Keep some for yourself. Enjoy life, but lock away at least half before you even think about what to spend it on. Step 5. Protect it like your life depends on it, because in a way it does. Your escape pod is not for wants. It's not for a new TV or a weekend trip. It's for actual emergencies only. Car breaks down? That's an emergency. Medical bill? Emergency. Rent increase you didn't budget for? That's borderline, but probably yes. New iPhone because yours is 2 years old? Not an emergency. You need discipline here. Because the temptation to raid your savings will be strong. But every time you protect that money, you're protecting future you. Here's something nobody talks about. Saving your first $1,000 changes how you think. Not because you're suddenly rich. You're not. But because for the first time, maybe ever, you have options. You wake up one morning, check your account, and see a comma. $1,000. And something shifts in your brain. You start thinking differently about money. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start feeling like someone who can handle their business. You walk into work differently. You don't feel trapped. If your boss is abusive, you're not quite as scared of them. You've got a little runway. Not much, but enough to make a plan. You make better decisions. When you're desperate, you take the first option available. But when you have a buffer, you can take the best option. That payday loan at 400% APR, you can say no now. You don't need it. That MLM scheme your cousin is pitching? Pass. You're not that desperate. That credit card with the terrible terms? No thanks. You've got cash. This is the offensive mindset I was talking about. You're not just surviving. You're positioned to make moves. And once you hit that first 1,000, you start seeing what's possible. You start thinking, if I can save 1,000, I can save 2,000. If I can save 2,000, I can save 5. It builds on itself to you've got your $1,000. Now what? First, breathe. Seriously, you did something most people never do. You change your financial trajectory. That matters. Second, maintain it. Don't let it dip below 1,000 unless it's a real emergency. If you use $400 for car repairs, make it a priority to get back to 1,000 as fast as possible. Third, once you're comfortable at 1,000, stretch to 2. Then 3. The goal is eventually to have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. But that's level 10 stuff. Right now, you're working on level 1. Your $1,000 escape pod isn't the finish line. It's the starting line. It's the foundation. Everything else gets built on. Because here's the truth. You can't invest in your future when you're constantly fighting off the present. You can't start a side business when one unexpected expense could put you on the street. You can't take the job with better long-term prospects if it means 2 weeks without a paycheck and you're already at zero. But with $1,000 in the bank, you can start thinking about those things. You can start building instead of just surviving. Look, I'm not going to lie to you and say $1,000 solves all your problems. It doesn't. You're still going to have bills. Life is still going to be hard. The world is still designed in ways that make it harder to climb out of poverty than it should be. But that $1,000? It's your escape pod, your shield, your breathing room. It's the difference between drowning and treading water. And once you're treading water, you can start swimming toward shore. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Right now, if you can, open that savings account. Transfer $5, $10, whatever you can spare. It won't feel like much. It might even feel silly. But you're not saving $5. You're starting a habit. You're building a foundation. You're taking back control. And 6 months from now, when you're looking at a few $100s in that account, you're going to be so glad you started today. Because future you is counting on present you to make the right move. Let's do this together. I'll see you in the next one.